I know better than anybody that if I'm sitting down to film and record a video, it should not be rushed, but I gotta get something out. You know what I'm saying? I'm on spring break, you know what I'm saying? And I really don't want to rot and waste my time away like I know that I will. But I want to talk about victimhood and sensitivity and how sometimes, or at least for me personally, I thought breaking up with victimhood meant I would no longer be sensitive, or I'm no longer allowed to be sensitive, right? So let me explain to you guys. Victimhood. T. I feel like in my childhood, yes, I have been a victim of violence, shame, guilt, oppression. You know, I have been a victim in so many different ways, and I think becoming an adult, I learned, I've been in environments that have offered me the opportunity to foster my advocacy skills. I have been in situations where advocacy was my only choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the moment, it felt like advocacy or death, bitch, because you got me fucked up. And you finna know you got me fucked up, T. I don't give a fuck. Learning this in adulthood, I kind of started to get like really good at it. I'm like, hold on, bitch. Now everybody's hearing my mouth. Let me tell you something. I had one session with a therapist last year or the year before about heavy conversations and just sitting within what may be the anxiety about opening my mouth and speaking up for myself, being honest about how I'm feeling. And it really changed my perspective on advocacy and the point of having these difficult and tough conversations. At the end of the day, while it is very uncomfortable whilst having them, I have a goal in mind. And I understand that the person that I'm having this conversation with, regardless of if I care about the person or the person is in some sort of position of power, when it comes to not controlling, but distributing what I care about, I'm trying to describe like the education system. So I know when I'm having these difficult conversations, I do have a goal, you know what I'm saying? And I want to fulfill that goal. And I just have to see it as, you know, I'm walking this path, this journey, and obviously there may be a bit of obstacles or barriers in the way. However, I know I have a goal, bitch. I know I have a goal. I don't know what it is about the word goal. It used to trigger me, but now it empowers me and invigorates me. And yeah, now when I hear a goal, I'm like, I gotta get it done. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, whatever. Please, I know I'm everywhere, and I know my energy is very dynamic right now, but I need you to keep up. I need you to stick with me because this is just who I am. But anyway, so after having that conversation with my therapist, being able to reflect on that within my own time and putting myself in situations where I had to be exposed to these anxieties, this is when I was on TikTok faithfully. I would record and encourage the public to partake in exposure therapy, in where you're putting yourself in situations that, you know, would ideally bring you a lot of anxiety and fear, but you're putting yourself in that situation with the conscious intention of making it a goal, of seeing it through, you know, going through it. Where am I going with this? The basis of this message is quite literally just speaking, communication, delivery, the throat, and conviction, I think. Then I got to a point, and this is where victimhood comes in. I got to a point where I was doing that. Like, I was following the original recipe, doing what I needed to do to get what I wanted done to reach those goals, and it wasn't working. I was so taken aback when I would open my fat ass mouth and tell somebody, hey, I have a conversation I need to have with you because this is really impacting my relationship with you. This is really impacting my desire to get up and go to work. This is really impacting me, bitch. I was so taken aback when I would do all that, and it still got me nowhere. Yeah, I was like talking to a fucking wall. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about instances where you're trying to put the better foot forward, again, consciously and intentively. Like, I'm not coming from, I have no malintent. No malintent at all, bitch. Like, yeah, really, it's about me, but it's about us. I felt that's how I was coming, but some people really didn't take it that way, and I just didn't reach the goal that I had in mind with said conversation. That did make me feel a bit defeated. Not gonna lie. I was like, okay, I don't understand. I studied, I researched, I practiced, and what the fuck? Like, I'm still hitting these, you know, roadblocks with certain people, certain organizations, certain environments. I'm not understanding why, you know what I'm saying, not everybody's falling in line. Like, bitch, you have a job, do your job. I started it, you're somewhere in the middle, and I finish it. So what is the problem? And yeah, so it wasn't going that way. And then I found, how did I find this out? I think I was just wallowing in my defeated energy and my sad grief, my grieving feelings of things not going my way, even if I decided that I was going to show up as a more evolved or more rational part of myself, or show up as a part of myself that is combining both human and spirit, combining both mind and the heart. You know, like, I'm like, again, I did my research, I did what I needed to do. What the fuck? Yeah. So I was sitting in that for a long time. I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like I just exited a depression. And me and depression, yeah, she's always knocking on my door. She's always there, you know, when I need her. I don't even want to call it that. I don't even want to call it depression, but low-key, that's what it gave. Anyways, I say all this to say, that's how I came across victimhood again, because I'm like, bitch, I am the victim. I was harmed. I was wronged. I was ignored. I was mocked. Like, bitch, fuck all you bitches. I am the victim. I'm hurt. I'm in my shell. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my hermit mode because it's real life. Fuck everybody because you didn't listen to me, and that's all that I needed. So T, right? It's so weird how all of these things happen. But I was in my hermit mode. But then within my hermit mode, I realized that I still needed things. I still had goals. I still had intentions. But because my foundation was no longer, I don't want to call it light. My foundation was no longer love. Like, I feel like I got really selfish at a point in time. To make sure that my personal convenience, I guess, was met. And whenever I was inconvenienced, it was like, oh, fuck no. Somebody got to do something. Somebody's doing something. I'm calling somebody. I'm calling everybody. Somebody's doing something because I don't like being inconvenienced. So it's really coming from a very selfish, I don't know, stale is coming to mind. It was just this stale state that I was in. Like, stale and stush. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really embodying that one stereotype about cancer is being like, being like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? Like, ugh, what is this, honey? Like,
girl, please put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home.
Like, that's really where I was coming from. And because of that, I feel like it allowed for that victim mentality to really fester. To really fester, grow a mind of its own, grow goals of its own. And I think I found myself screaming from so many rooftops for no reason. Like, I had a reason, I had a goal, but again, it was a selfish goal in that it really was the goal really sought to upkeep and uphold my convenience. And then even within that, it wasn't like I wasn't attached to it, if that makes any sense. Like, I really didn't want those things. I just wanted to feel that if I advocated for myself, if I cried on the rooftop, if I stomped on the ground and threw a motherfucking tantrum, somebody would listen to me and make a change in my life that I needed. Period. To be transparent with you, that's really what it was. And so I got into the habit. Somehow I learned, wait, bitch, if you come at them direct, if you come at them honestly, calmly, you know what I'm saying, you're not getting hurt. So what you need to do is you need to turn up the heat a little bit, bitch. That's what I learned. That's what I told myself. You need to turn up the heat a lot of bit. And you know, like I said, that would look like me throwing tantrums, not literally but figuratively ish. It would look like me throwing tantrums. It would look like me creating an email thread with 35 different administration members because you didn't answer my first fucking email when I came, you know, calm, cool, and collectly. So now I'm turning up the heat a bit. You know what I'm saying? Then I think during the time I was consuming a lot of media, a lot of hateful media, I think. And a lot of media that, again, confirmed this belief that I am a victim, I have been wronged. Be surrounded by so many of the majority, so many people who are not the minority, it really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I'm telling you, it took me a place. It took me to places. It really did take me to places within myself. I was just very upset, angry at the world. I didn't understand why white people were breathing in the same room as me. It was really pissing me off, really. And I was really envious and jealous of people who were born into wealth, people whose generational trauma really didn't align with mine. Bitch, what? You don't know nothing. You didn't go through what I went through. That's really what I was on. So yeah, like, I was in the habit of really, like, breaking people's doors down just because I wanted to feel heard. Again, half of the time, even if something could be done about what I was experiencing, about if a change could, you know, happen, I really didn't feel tied and connected to really wanting it. I just wanted to be heard. I just wanted to be seen as this victim. I just wanted people to empathize with me, which was, like, so weird because I wasn't even doing that with myself. I wasn't. I was just being calculated. Just like, it really did give evil scientists. But not even science. It just gave evil. Yeah, that's what it gave. Like, I don't know. Well, until quite literally recently, I started extending that compassion, that grace, that understanding to myself. Like, I just recently came to that it doesn't matter if the whole world believes that I deserve $50,000 million because I'm a black woman, a queer black woman in America. It doesn't matter. If I believe that, then I'm going to get that. Simple. And I don't know. I just have, I'm coming into it with new, I'm coming into these last few months of this bum ass program with new energy. I'm not focusing on the negative and things I can't control. And that was another thing, like, with victimhood. Like, it would be like focusing on shit that real life cannot be changed, babe. And this is coming from somebody who believes anything can move. Anything can move. Any and everything can move. If I said, like, bitch, you gotta go, you're gonna move, period. This is coming from somebody that believed that wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? So to sit and have to swallow the pill that not everything can change when and exactly how you wanted it really made me feel type of way. Honestly, it's just giving spoiled brat. I think a lot of time too, when you are so used to not really being acknowledged, your pain being ignored, and being told that you're a fucking liar to your face, in your eyes, yeah? When you're used to that, and you begin to start to believe that, and you start to question your own truth, you start to question your own validity, it really does terrible things to you. Like, I don't see how going down that road and staying there and not trailing off at all is really beneficial to any victim. I think that's why it's so important to have both. You know, like, even when I am reflecting on places where I fall short, to follow that up always with the strength that I have. Because it's really not all bad. But if you choose to believe, that's what it is, that's all you're seeing, period. Oh my God, like, I'm thinking about the law of correspondence and how for me that is so real. And I don't think it'll ever stop being real. And I think ego also comes to mind. I'm just like, I don't like stress, I don't like strife, I don't like to work. I don't like it. But I understand if that's real life a goal where I really gotta do shit and have shit in place to where that is what it is. But I can't wake up one day and say, no, this is what it is. And I have no foundation. And if the foundation is full of lack, it's not even full, bitch. If the foundation is empty itself, if the foundation is ego, if the foundation is fear, bitch, you're not getting nowhere. And I hope when I edit this, I don't hate it. I really do hope so, because I just want to get things out. Law of correspondence and how for me that is so real.